Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot and a red state, utilizing Tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. For those of you just tuning in for the first time, welcome. What I've been doing for this kind of set of readings is I had a whole bunch of questions, and I am really just doing one reading right after another, staying in that energy. And then I'm kind of dividing them out for you guys to kind of have them in a little bit more digestible segments. And so what I'm looking at today, this whole thing has been about Charlie Kirk, his assassination, and that the Trump administration is using this to justify labeling Antifa as a domestic terrorist group and taking away freedom of speech, even though there is like literally nothing with this that is, saying that the shooter, the alleged shooter, which I'm not convinced really is the actual shooter, was like some radicalized left wing something. And there is literally nothing that is supporting that. And they're trying to piece together stuff to make it look like that, but I don't know that anybody's believing that on the left or the right. And so what I'm going to do today with this portion of the reading is Trump has signed the executive order saying that Antifa is a domestic terrorist group. Okay, well, Antifa means you're anti-fascist. Okay, you're against fascism. And, that should be the United States, default setting. You should be against fascism. You should be pro-democracy. And so I want to do a base reading into that. As far as I know, there hasn't been any court filings on that. I would expect there to be, especially if, Pam Bondi is trying to go after anybody. She's out there saying she's going after hate speech. And that's even got Steve Bannon going, whoa, wait a minute, what? What do you mean? And as I've explained in, some previous readings, in this that I'm doing here, we're not going to be like, I'm agreeing with Steve Bannon. No, you are not. Okay. A broken clock is right twice a day. Don't get drawn into, oh, we have common ground. No, we do not. In our tent, we believe in human rights. Human rights are non-negotiable. They are only concerned that the tables may be turned on them. Okay, so now if they start walking back their entire platform of hate, then okay, then we can talk. But until then, it's like, nope, we don't get to you guys are cherry picking human rights. This tent, we don't cherry pick on human rights, okay? Human rights are human rights. All human rights, not the ones that we cherry pick, okay? So that I just want to recap that there for you guys. So base reading into this executive order designating Antifa as a domestic terrorist group. It's like, good God Almighty, did I ever think that I would be reading on this? I mean, so what is it that we need to know about this? Okay, and with this, the message, this is security, stability. In the higher energy, the Six of Pentacles is you have enough to give to others. In the lower energy, it's like pennies for the people. And the challenge is hopes, wishes, dreams. Let me keep going here. Messaging. What is it that we want? I mean, this is giving me the feeling of like, oh, we're doing this for the people. We're doing this to protect the people. Yeah, Mad King Don, and I always say, like, he's making decisions from a part of his brain that he should not be making decisions, and he really sees this as like this is his duty to take care of the people. And yes, I watch Beavis and Butthead from the 90s, and anytime duty, it just makes me laugh. So, whatever. Anyway, and we're going to laugh any chance we get, okay? And the illusions and the lies. Oh my God. Yeah, he is doing this for the people. He is, he's doing this to take care of the people, and it's all a damn lie. Okay, so he's saying this. What are the actions that they're actually going to be taking? Because none of these are action cards. These are all like he's saying it, but what actions will they be taking? And as far as actions, that's not certain yet. Like the moon card, we don't know what actions that are being taken, and it's like it's all part of the plan. And so much of what they do, they just kind of like throw it, they throw it out there to see what sticks. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting from this. Like, yes, they are absolutely wanting to place restrictions around freedom of speech, but the action is, let's see what the American people do. The disappointment, but there's always hope. So I wonder if this is like, if there's not enough pushback, because whenever there's pushback, they walk a lot of this stuff back. The burden, and I always say this path that the American people are on, this is a burden. It is not in the DNA of the American people to be ruled by a little wannabe dictator. And so this is like, this is too much. The American people we're not made for this. In the death card, major transformation. I think that this is, I'm almost getting like this is going to be the undoing of this administration. And the devil card, the undoing of the 7 deadly sins. Like what they want to do is just out of reach. Like they have a plan, but I don't see that they're like, once again, these are not action cards. There's disappointment. And I've noticed that David from Tarot by the Bay, he's been reading the 5 of Cups as like the minor arcana death card, like the minor death. And then you've got the death card here. And I just want to mention that because I do get both of these together. So it's like some major transformation. Yes, this is what they're trying to do, but there's still hope because I really think that there's pushback from the American people and what they're like these 7 deadly sins of what this administration is wanting to do. Like they're chained to this ideology, but it's out of like they can't implement it because the American people push back. That's what I'm feeling with this. So American people. Let me do, let me see. Where are the American people in all this? And the American people, oh, wow, yeah. The American people absolutely push back on this. And, like the Tower card, the sun comes out. The truth, they can't keep the truth hidden. Happiness, return to happier times. And if you notice, okay, let me put these cards out. Going in a new direction and overcoming. And in this right here, what stands out to me in both of these cards is, if you notice the rainbow here with the cups, so like a complete circle, and then the complete circle here of an ending. And I'm almost seeing like a new path for America. And it's a happier path, but we have work to do. We're going to be able to overcome. This is the pushing back on just this absolute insanity. And they're building all of this on a house of cards that comes tumbling down. Okay, that's what that is. What I'm feeling, and I've been hesitant about what exactly I say about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I want to be careful about not, playing into conspiracy theories. But if we're going to, like, Kash Patel is not competent at all, period. I mean, that, and nothing that they have done has been either legal within the law. They've like pushed the law, and we see that in the lawsuits that are being brought. That, there was the firings for political reasons. There was, the he lied about the Epstein files. I mean, we've all seen, if you didn't watch it live, we saw the clips of, how great Kash Patel did there in front of the House. He did not do well at all. And my feeling with all of this is that this kid was never supposed to turn himself in, and that they had a plan that got foiled because he turned himself in. I get the feeling like all of this so-called evidence, like there's always a grain of truth. Okay. In everything else that we have ever seen come from this administration, there's always like a grain of truth. And then there's like everything else. And you're like, how did you go from this to this? How did you go from, an assassination to like declaring Democrats a terrorist group? It's like that kind of thing. Like they were going to, they've made, Brandon Carr has made no secret whatsoever about wanting to to really limit freedom of speech. Like, there's been no secret about this. They are weaponizing and politicizing the assassination of Charlie Kirk to get this done. Okay? And the problem is that all this evidence that they have is not, it's not holding up. Okay? And that is going to be the downfall for, what we're going to be seeing. I just don't see any of that holding up at all. So Pam Bondi. Let's see what's going on with Pam Bondi. Is she going to keep doing, Trump's bidding there? What is she, like, this going after hate speech? What is this looking like? I just want to make sure I really did say for entertainment purposes only at the very beginning. So Pam Bondi and prosecuting this hate speech. What does that look like? I know Steve Bannon was a little concerned. He's like, does that mean me? And it's like, big bully wand. So the messaging is, and I always say, she's the cheerleader. She's all about messaging. But no. This is the Hanged Man. I really think like they threw all this out, and they want to see, how the American people respond. The betrayal to our country, betrayal to our Constitution, and that she is trying to be the one who is the, she decides the law, like her and Trump. And he had that stupid executive order that actually did say that him and her, they're the law. And so she is looking at how can she use the law to do this. But I don't think that she can't, no, laying in state. These are not action cards. And I'm going to see this as our country and Constitution. There is no movement cards here. There's the bully wand. There is she's going to say she's doing it, but laying in, like Hanged Man. This is a state of suspension. The Four of Swords. This is laying in state, not going anywhere. The betrayal, the message of betrayal. But I don't know that what is it that stops this? What is it that stops her doing this? Other than, like incompetence. The lies quickly. Hi, Kim. And come to light. I still think that this just all kind of, the hopes and dreams. This is what comes up after the Tower card of, and racing forward. Yeah, I just don't, I'm looking at this going, seeing if I'm picking up anything with this. Pam Bondi, it's like a lot of talk, not a lot of action. What action she takes, I think, is quickly shut down in the courts. Like, they're just not, this is not serious action. That's what I'm seeing with this. Like there may be like a lot of talk, there may be like something, but like it doesn't hold up because it's all just a bunch of damn lies. Somebody needs to tell them God don't like liars. They always, are out there with that evangelical bullshit, and it's like, well, yeah, but God don't like liars. Okay, let's see. Will Act Blue be implicated? Will they try to implicate Act Blue? Because they keep saying they're going to go after the funding, and Act Blue is the largest is the Democratic fundraising portion. So, are they going to go after Act Blue? And I'm just going to do 3 points on that. Act Blue, trying to block things that are hidden and something. Yeah, they're going to try. But good news. And being left out in the cold. This could also be like the false friend and the lies that they're telling, but because I was asking specifically about Act Blue and trying to shut that down. What will the outcome be with Act Blue? The truth is there. The truth is going to come out. Yeah. In the court filings and in the law, it's like if they try to do that, they expect, I'm almost like expecting the courts to block it. But this is like the truth is going to come out about the money, the fundraising. They're going to put, the judges will like put a pause on that. Because it's like it's too much of a burden. Like they don't have the evidence to support what they're claiming. Yeah, that's it. They don't have the evidence, and the court is going to be like, no, try again. And I'm almost even feeling like, just like the mistakes that are made with even just the it's not just the misinterpretation of the law or the misapplication of the law. It's like literally not filing things correctly. That's what I'm feeling with this. So yeah, I don't think that that's going to go anywhere. I am going to ask here about Trump suing the New York Times. Is that even going to go anywhere with Trump suing the New York Times? And once again, 3 cards on that, or yeah. Is Trump going to, what's going on with that? How is that going to proceed forward? With Trump suing the restrictions, laying in rest, and things that are hidden, things that are changing, restrictions, the burden. I mean, I literally am getting the same card. So let me do this. I knew I had this Spiral Tarot pulled out for a reason. Trump suing the New York Times. What do we need to know about that? Okay, Trump suing the New York Times. The Lovers card, and what's interesting is that the Lovers is the 6, and then you've got the Devil, which is the 16. 5 plus 1 is where I'm coming up with that. So, and then, this is 1 plus 5 is 6, and then the 6. So the Lovers, planting seeds for the future, and the Wheel of Fortune, karma, decisions having to be made from the New York Times, and the Magician. And I'm going to see this as like two sides. So I think that this is going to, and I'm getting a lot of like the 2 here, the Lovers, the 2, letting the courts decide and see through the deception, Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. Let me see here. So will this judge put a stop to this? Will the judge even allow this to go forward? I don't think that he even has a strong case. It's almost like they get the feeling that there'll be rash action that's just put to rest. Like they're not acting, the government, the lawsuits, the they can't this is, it's like they didn't do it like I'm getting the Knight of Swords. I'm trying to put that into words what I'm feeling because it's like a bunch of stuff. One is this is the lawsuit where the lawyers filed it like as Donald Trump as an individual, and therefore he doesn't get presidential immunity. And so like you get that, like this rash action is like kind of what puts us to rest. And that I think the New York Times comes out like pretty happy on this. So how will the New York Times feel about what happens with this case? Yeah, this is like a gift that's been given to the New York Times. They're it's almost like I get this feeling of like a front row seat to the shit show, to all the lies and deception, and the depositions that they're going to be doing. And yeah, this so I get that Four of Cups again of, and quickly, this is just, yeah, I think that I'm kind of getting the same thing here with this. So I think that this, the depositions will be very interesting on what comes out of this, because if I'm remembering the right case, I don't think Trump gets presidential immunity on this because of the way that it was filed. So if him as an individual. So, and it's almost like I get that feeling of this was like a gift given to the New York Times. I'm almost feeling like that Seven of Swords and like that front row to the shit show, like they're going to be their own breaking story. Like they have a front row seat to the breaking news that they themselves are going to be reporting about themselves. That's the feeling I'm getting from that. So, let's see. Any final, I'm kind of coming to the end of this really long marathon reading that I've done. And let me just ask, any additional final messages for this? Any final messages that we need to know about the Charlie Kirk and then the attack on freedom of speech and its aftermath? Any final messages? The restrictions, like we can't see a way out right now, but there is going to be, we're going to be, what stands out to me is like this angel, like we're going to be guided through this. It's this feeling of like it's going to be okay. Like I know right now it's really scary, but this is saying, you know, like it's going to be okay. The lies and deception, you know, we start seeing through that. In the Robin Hood deck and Rider-Waite, this is the person who's fleeing under the dark of night, and looking back at the circus tents that are set up in the background. So it's like the damn circus with this. Yeah, Ace of Cups, new beginnings, happy beginnings. Once we start seeing the truth, the High Priestess, the truth is, you know, the truth is there. The answers are there. And yeah, the Eight of Pentacles. And in the Robin Hood deck, this Eight of Pentacles, remember it has that blind in the background that you can't see the full picture. You can't see out the window fully. So as the truth starts coming out, we will start seeing more and more of that big picture view. And what really stood out to me in these two cards this is where we are. We can't see a way out. But if you look, this person right here, like it's very similar, except this person doesn't have the blindfold on, the restraints are removed, and we have this like divine intervention, which almost like right now it really feels like we need some divine intervention. But I think that this divine intervention is going to be truth. The truth comes out, and what binds us, the lies that binds us and is preventing us from seeing the truth, when the truth starts coming out, that's when we're unshackled. Okay, and these new beginnings come forward. We start seeing through the lies, and yeah, new beginnings. So I'm kind of getting a lot of the same thing, a lot of those same cards, which is... yeah, that gives me hope that, you know, if I'm using like two different decks and kind of getting the same thing, that's giving me hope that, yeah, we're going to be on our way for the truth to be known. I think that with they're overplaying their hand. That's really what I'm feeling with this. Like they're really pushing. They really want that narrative to be true, but nobody's believing it. And this power grab to take away First Amendment rights. I just don't see that. I mean, I'm not saying that. I mean, they, Stephen Colbert was his show was canceled. He gets to finish out his contract as of now. Jimmy Kimmel is put on leave. Seth Meyers and Jimmy Fallon are next. I have a feeling that they have quite the surprise planned for us, so we'll keep watching that. These lawsuits that they're doing, I mean, it's like they say all of this, but there's no legal basis for it, and that's where the courts are going to come in, and they can slow it down and it gets appealed into the Supreme Court. I feel like by the time it gets to the Supreme Court, a lot of the actual truth has come out, and that this all just starts falling apart. I mean, the tower. I mean, how many times can I get the tower card, and say, yep, it's all going to fall apart. So, I really appreciate you being here. As I said, I'm going to try to have hopefully, you've seen all these readings in a row, and that there hasn't been too much breaking news to kind of disrupt that. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting. I know that I will be having the October energy reading coming up, here next week. So, yeah, we'll be watching for that. So I really appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe. I'll put another reading up here for you to check out, especially if this is one of your first readings that you're checking out with me. Check out some of my other readings. As I said, this series I've done a little differently because I just it was like one great big long reading that I just kind of broke up into segments. So I appreciate you being here, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a great day.